Don't be. I was over here jamming. You have to get out loud.
Right. I like that because I'm like, hey. We got some- so I like
Uh,
that new music. We're gonna have to customize our own music. Then we can do
we
our own.
do, we do, we do. If you're out there and you have custom music for us for our show, give us a call. We need you.
Give us a call.
Right, right. So, ooh, I'm echoing back.
You doing what?
I'm
Low
doing,
battery. We can't have that.
yeah, I'm doing a little echo back.
Oh, echo. I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
No, I don't hear it. So hopefully nobody else hears it either. But
All right, testing, testing. I
one, two,
just,
three.
yeah, I just closed my Facebook on my computer, so that might have been probably it.
Cool.
So,
Okay, sounds
all
good.
right.
So come on,
Hey
introduce
guys.
yourself, girl.
Hey, 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 hey. Another water cooler Wednesday. Um,
Yes.
right. We was like all the way live.
No, you was like all the way
Yeah, I
live.
was singing the song. I had it in my
I
mind,
was
like
doing the
ready,
dance.
ready. Whoo, whoo. So, but today I want to introduce myself. I'm Deanne Branch, and I am with Allure Dream Homes, brokered by EXP.
Steve. I got it now. I'm saying your name right now. And of course, it's the one and only Lisa J, the house money mama.
All right,
How's
all right,
everybody
all right.
doing today?
Right, right. Hey guys. So today we wanted to talk about house hunting. So the thought was you've got your pre-approval and the lender's done everything that she can. We talked about that last week about
Right.
all the stuff, and she didn't even finish, but
I sure
we,
didn't. I
we
had a couple more things I still could have hit.
right, she should have probably been doing part two,
Right.
but let's say she did finish, but it's different for everybody. So
Yeah.
once don't be afraid. We had a client this week. She was like, "Oh, I'm so scared of the process," but
Yeah.
she's actually already got a house, so
Yep.
that can be you.
In
That can be
contract. That's
you
right.
too. Right?
Yeah.
She got a contract. She got a
Hmm.
house. Right?
Yeah. Right. She got a house in contract.
Right. But so today we want to talk about, okay, now what's next, right? What's next after I get this pre-approval? And I think a lot of times the people are like, okay, now they go to the lender, they go back to the lender because that's the person I may have introduced them, but they're like, okay, I've been talking to this person all this time. Now what? And so now what is we get to go house hunting, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So we wanted to do a little different. We were just thinking we talk about the 10 things not to do on house hunting. So
10 house hunting mistakes that you
yes,
don't want to make.
right. So that is really what we want to share with you. Like
Right.
these are some things you really don't want to do. Now, the first one is not arming yourself with a pre-approval, but you work with us. So,
Right.
right, we know you're not going to allow that to happen. But,
That's right.
right,
Because
but
when you
the
start
first
off
thing,
right, when you work with the right people, we're gonna help you do things the right way.
right, right. So make sure
And
you always have that, make sure you always have the right team. So,
that's right. And
definitely
that
make
makes a
sure you,
big difference. That's a big deal. I was actually talking to somebody earlier today, a realtor who is kind of in the south area, like the Kankakee type area out here.
mhm.
So, it's kind of a smaller town type area. And so she was concerned. She's like, well, we don't really know you. You ain't from around here. Then I get the music in the background, like from the old west and stuff.
Exactly.
She
Boom,
called me
boom,
out.
boom,
Right.
boom. Right. With the with the what is it like they kind of blowing in the
Right,
wind,
you got it right. It's like about to draw.
right? They want to
So
make sure they armed correctly. So
they want to make sure. Well, but I mean, so and here's the thing. It's easy for people to have thin skin and get offended by things like that stuff. I don't, because I respect a person who is really going all out to do the best for their customer. That's what we do.
yes,
That's what
yes,
you do.
yes.
When you go out and you represent the customer, you up at all times and day and night, because I get the emails and sometimes text messages. Um, but I'm not gonna say nothing about that. But anyway, but that's what you do.
Yeah,
You're trying to do the best for your customers, so and represent their interests. So obviously, if you had a bad experience with some people that were out of your network, then I think it's okay to question. I'm not offended by you
right.
questioning.
Yeah.
So, but fortunately, I was able to talk to her. After talking to me, she felt very comfortable. She's like, well, your level of knowledge, and just in this conversation, that the stuff that you've shared with me has been really helpful. I feel a lot more comfortable. Then on top of that, I gave her a couple of realtors, yourself being one,
Yeah.
who have worked with me that could attest, to how I work with people. And one of the people I gave her, she actually knew him.
Oh
So
yeah.
because
Oh,
she knew him,
that
when
was
he
good.
said that I was cool, she was like,
Then,
"Oh my God, he's one of my favorite realtors."
so that
So
was good.
yeah, they help. But having the right team is so
Hmm.
important. So
It's
important.
really
And a
important.
lot of times people, when they do these pre-qualifications, and mine is called pre-qualification, some people still call them pre-approval, but it's the same thing. But they don't do a thorough job. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest problem, is that I see a lot of people, they're not taking all the steps that they really need to take and giving an honest and thorough assessment of a loan file. If you don't do that from the very beginning, you basically guarantee yourself problems and issues in your transaction.
Hmm.
So we just try to avoid all that stuff. That's all.
Right, right. So that's the first step. We're gonna do a double. Make sure you got the right team. Make sure you have a pre-approval.
Yep.
So the second step is, again, it's kind of the same thing. So one and two are the same, right? House hunting without an agent. Don't do it,
Hmm.
right? So
Don't.
you said don't do it.
Don't.
There's a reason why we as agents are here to help you. We want to make sure we share our knowledge with you as realtors, and to be able to one, we provide you listings as soon as they come on the market. And
Yep.
yeah, you can see a lot of those different properties on Zillow, Realtor.com, and things like that, and you can say, oh, I don't want to work with the realtor. I'll just go with whoever, actually is on the other
Listening
line once I
properly.
say I
Yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that person never gets to know you. They never know what your likes or dislikes are. Your process is probably will take so much longer by doing that than working with a realtor that is actually knowing you, learning about you. Each
Hmm.
time I take you out, if we see three houses, we go through all three homes, and before we leave, I ask you, what did you like?
Yeah.
What did you not like? So
Hmm.
then when next time we get ready to go out and look at, maybe I'm looking for homes for you, you send me a house and you were like, no, a basement is a must. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, this isn't the one for you. Or, hey, I saw this property over here, and after all the things we talked about, this is might be the one. So now I know you, right? I know what you like and what you don't like. You're on Zillow just clicking and meeting up a stranger on I mean, it doesn't, to me, seem like that's your best approach. So I think you
Not
should
only that,
always.
I think if you get somebody who's already on a listing, and like let's just say you end up buying that house that they listed,
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it is a lot harder to really be what's the word I'm looking for? Objective. when you have to represent, I've seen people do it
Yeah,
before. People
it's
can
dual
represent
agency.
both sides, but I think that's
Hmm.
very hard, to do.
Yeah. And right,
So,
so what happens in a dual agency is they're not supposed to share any information with the seller about you, and there and you and the
and vice
opposite,
versa,
and
right?
vice
Vice
versa.
versa.
So
Hmm.
then at that point, you're not represented at all, right? So
Right,
you don't have
right.
anybody that's really there looking for your best interest. I mean, some I've done dual HC before, but really, when you're in a situation like that, it's probably I would suggest maybe you would get another agent. So
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
so so is it. So let's see.
Another thing would be just not knowing what it is. Like, we talked about that
Yeah.
a few weeks back, just when you kind of make that checklist of what it is
Hmm.
you actually want in the house.
Right. That was
Mhm.
we talked about that being prepared, knowing what you want.
Be prepared. Yes.
Yeah. I think I had the best client this week. She was like,
Mhm.
I want a bungalow. I want 3 bedrooms. I want one with a little loft in it. I mean, she knew
Um,
everything she wanted. And when I took her list and I as for me, I'm like, okay, let me try. you know, because you also got to be willing to compromise on your list too. But we did. We worked through. It helped me to be able to help her and be able to get at least the majority of the things that she wanted. So that
yeah.
was really great. So she knew I wasn't out there just searching for a house that was 3 bedrooms and 2 baths.
Right.
That's
Right.
it.
That makes a big
Right.
difference.
That's all. That's all Chicago. That's all of Chicago. That's all. That's all. That's all.
South side. That's all on the south side.
Right. That's the whole South Side. So it's like, hey, it don't matter. Just show me a house in Illinois. So it helps. She had some areas of interest that she was
Yeah.
that she was interested in.
Hmm.
Of course, everybody says that I just like a nice neighborhood. But she actually did some research, was like, okay, a little west of here. I have to stay in the city. I want a little west of here. I want over here in Beverly, but I can't do all of Beverly. I want to do over here a little bit. So she actually did some research, and this is
So
what
she
we
has really
talked.
narrowed it down. That's
She did.
awesome.
She did. And so I looked at that narrow, and then I looked outside of that area, but just made sure, okay, this is the surrounding area of her area. But I did make sure to ask her, are we okay with this or whatever?
Yeah, to expand.
But she gave specifics on exactly what she was looking for. So it was
And
great.
if we talking about who I think you talking about, then she also did something else that's kind of on our list. She didn't let no grass grow under her feet.
Yes.
As soon as you started sending lists, she was picking them out like, hey, let's go. Let's go
Right.
see them.
And that was it. So that's the next one. Waiting
Hmm.
too long to see a house. We are still in a seller's market.
Yes, we are.
Right. Don't call me today and say, "Can we go see this house, this one house
Hmm.
on
On
Saturday?"
Saturday. Yes,
Today is Wednesday.
right.
The house
It-
was sold on Friday
right.
or Thursday.
I was just about to say, or Thursday. Yeah,
Right. Especially if it's a beautiful house. If you love it, 10 other people love
right. There you go.
it. so So definitely, I always tell my clients in this market that we should definitely go out. If we see a house today on the market, just come on the market, because I do give real time alerts so you know exactly when the property hits the market. As long as
Hmm.
you're checking your emails, you know exactly when it hits, and then you're able to say, okay, let's go out and see it today or tomorrow. you know
Uh-huh.
Typically like a little notice. But if I look at it and I don't have anything to do, and this is the house, because you already told me this is what I want. I want this. I want that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this kind of fits all the check boxes. I
Right.
might we might try to figure out a way to get there, or I could send one of my team members to show you the
That's
house.
right.
So,
And even though you
ah,
don't want to wait too long to go out and see the place, but when you get there, you don't want to rush through
yeah.
looking. You want to take your time looking. You want to hurry up and get there, but then you want to take your time looking. So,
Hmm.
I don't know if you usually have people do this or not, but I remember when I was looking, one of the things that was helpful for me was to take pictures. I had my phone already with me, so I would take pictures of the different houses. Like I take the outside first, and then when
Yeah.
we go in, I take pictures of certain rooms and stuff, so that way I could remember the feel when I went back, and thought about it afterward.
So, I've had clients ask could they take pictures, and I have allowed them. But
Hmm.
recently, I actually, it's always got to educate yourself.
Hmm.
And so I did some training, and they were saying that it's not right for me to allow people to take photos in the house.
Really?
Yes. So they
Okay, well, I'm
were,
gonna have to send you outside then, because I'm taking some pictures so I can remember. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yes, that's what they say. So,
That's
but
Lisa the lender talking. That's not the realtor talking. But she's saying
exactly
it the right way. She's saying the right
right.
thing. That's
But
me
you should
acting up over here. That's what that is.
right, but you should always take notes, right? Even
Yeah.
if we can't take the photos that we'd like to take, to remember the property, um, take good notes, right? Make sure, okay, there is a stove. I like the stove. I didn't like, a lot of
Mhm.
different things about the house. The bedroom, the third bedroom was a little small, but I think it can work. You just need to
Mhm.
kind of take some notes, so then when you go back you can look it over and stuff. So
Right.
but yeah,
Right.
um one of them, another thing is who goes to the showing with you. So I'm sorry guys, I don't feel the people that buy in the house is the only people that should be at the house when picking the house out. So you and your husband, you and your kids, because maybe one bring kid, but you maybe don't even need to bring the kids, and you definitely don't need to bring your friends. Sorry,
Yes, they're not gonna live there.
they're not gonna live there, and
Right.
your best friend's taste is not the same as yours.
That's right. Neither are the needs. The needs
Exactly.
that you may have for your household is probably not going to be the same as what your friend needs, for his or her household. So,
Hmm. I used
mhm.
to play this game when I was younger. My best friend, her and I had totally opposite tastes. So
Mhm.
you always see me in I don't do checks, boxes, plaids, all of that. I used to walk through the mall and be like with her, like, you like that, right? You like that, right? And so we knew early on that we didn't have the same taste, right? We were
Mhm.
friends and we
Yeah.
shared each other's, successes, and we're still friends, right? We share each other's successes and everything else, but we had different tastes, and you always do. So, and then for them to be outspoken, they'll talk you out of a whole house that you like.
You said a whole house.
I'm just saying. I've seen it. You like, and then they'll bring them to the home inspection. Say you won the house, you got the
Yeah.
house. They don't need to come to the home inspection either.
Yeah.
So those are my things. That there's to me that's just something. Keep that business to yourself, and then let them enjoy your success after you close and you've gone through the process. Because our friends, always, some of them, or our advisors, may think they know more than the home inspector that's at the house.
Right.
Right. So
And that's not necessarily good.
No,
'Cause
no.
cause more problems. Bless their heart, they really be trying to help, but a lot of times they don't. They're not
Yeah.
helping.
I had a
So
listing, and my listing, the buyer came with for the home inspection, and
Mhm.
they literally had a party. Like the my seller had to go to the house to give the keys, and
Okay.
he's like, there are so many people in that house, in the house, Dion. It's like a party. I said,
Oh my goodness.
he said
Wow.
there's so many people. So this is during her home inspection. So guess what
Yeah.
happened? She didn't get the house because she didn't have just one extra voice. She had a everybody voice in her own,
Hmm.
I don't know if she really, I assume she really loved it because she put an offer down on it and her offer got accepted and she wanted to move forward because there
Yeah.
was nothing wrong with the house. She just decided not to move forward because the people around her told her not to.
Got you. Yeah.
So, all
And
right.
she probably be sitting in that house today looking out her front window like, this is the best decision I ever made.
If she went on. So,
Yeah.
um, so,
So what about perfection? What about the perfectionist?
oh, um,
We want to try to stay away from that. Because
right,
realistically, unless you're getting a brand new house that you're building from the ground up, you're probably not going to get every little single thing that you want in the house. So just like how you said earlier, you have to be willing to make some kind of concessions and
yeah,
say, okay, there are some must-haves, but there's also some want-haves. And if I don't get the want-haves, then I'm still okay with that as
right.
long as I get the must-haves.
And we talked about it too, a couple of weeks ago about looking at a house in your vision in the future.
Hmm.
What could you do with this house? So something that the people may had or lived with, you might, this little crack in this, in the flooring or something like that, because we can't ask for cosmetic
Right.
repairs. So say for instance somebody had something that was cosmetic that you didn't like, uh, you let that miss out on the whole house in Beverly, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. That's
Yeah.
very hard to get with nice closets. You decided not to move forward because the floor wasn't quite like you wanted it, the color you
Mhm.
wanted it to be.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, perfection is, yeah, gotta compromise a little bit. So
A little
just
bit.
a little
And
bit,
also try not to get distracted by, some of the things that you see.
right? Mm-hmm. The sparkly new features.
Yes,
I
that.
and I do get a lot of that. I do get a lot of that because now the houses have these chandeliers. Like they might have these nice chandelier over the kitchen table, or
Okay.
nice lights over. Like, oh, this is wonderful. This is the house. Well, you didn't even look at the bedroom.
Right. Right. And
Right.
look, and the bedroom ain't big enough for you to put a Barbie dream house in. You want
Right.
you talking about this is the house?
This is the house. It has everything. It has stainless steel refrigerator, stove, and like what? Okay, I mean that's nice to have, but does it
Yeah.
fit the needs? Right. So we out. We talked a lot these past weeks. Right. What's your want? What's your reason? Right, for the
Yeah.
house. What's your
Yeah.
reason for going out, and does this house meet that reason? Um, is
Hmm.
it in the right neighborhood for you?
Hmm.
Things like that. So maybe
That's
if
actually one of the things that we was gonna mention too.
oh really.
Right. Yeah. On the list, remember we was gonna talk about the neighborhood as well.
Right. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, so don't get distracted. Don't get distracted
Right.
by the shiny. I used to do this like shiny object to distract other people in a previous job. If she was listening, she'd know what I was talking about. But so you could
Okay.
do.
I'm not even going to ask for any details on that. But you know, a lot of people now, this whole staging thing seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
You know, they want to stage the house, and everybody want to make stuff gray and silver or whatever.
Every house is great now.
Right,
Every,
those are colors for right now.
right.
So yeah, when you walk into the house, you're seeing all that stuff. It looks just like the things that you see on, Flip That House or whatever those shows are on
Right. The
HGTV and stuff like that.
HGTV, where in 30 minutes you can do a rehab.
Right, you can rehab and flip a house. That's right. Exactly. But
Right.
it's easy to walk in and start seeing stuff like that. You're like, oh, this is just like what I see on TV, and you're not really paying attention to the details that are the most important. Because a house is not just what you walk through. A house
Mm-hmm.
is where you live.
Where you
You
live,
know,
right?
that's where you live. I always say this. I've said I think a couple of times on our podcast, but um, I love to wake up and look out my window. I love that. And I knew when I walked into this room that's my bedroom that I knew that I like that. As I looked out the window for the first time here, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is really nice. I like this.
Yeah. Right. And when we talked about don't go through the house real fast. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about my house. And so I think I was probably one of those don't go through it too fast. But I mean, this was at least 25 years ago. I've been in my house a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the first night that we slept in in our bed in our house, I heard this like zzz, zzz. I was like, "That's what's that?" He
Uh-huh.
was like, "What?" I was like, "It was a." Zzz. So right, my house is in a cul-de-sac, but
Okay.
behind the houses on the cul-de-sac, not behind my house, but behind the other houses is the train tracks. And
Oh
so
wow. Okay. And you can hear that.
and you could hear the train would sit there and they would just kind of make this humming sound. So my
Okay.
husband said to me, that's the train, that the train tracks we drove over every time you made me drive.
Every time you made me.
Made me drive you to this house. I was like,
I love James.
like, right? I was like, what? Oh, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
maybe if I had seen it, I might not it may not have gone with the house or something, maybe if I realized it. But
Yeah.
years later, I don't even, I don't hear zoning
You get
has
used to
changed.
it.
Right. The
You get
zoning
used
has
to it.
actually changed where they don't allow them to sit on the tracks and over there
Oh, okay.
behind the house either.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
so those are things that to remember because if it's a house that you love, maybe you need to work with your alderman and there's an issue like that you work with to resolve that issue. So there's always
Right.
a solution to something that may
Mhm.
cause a problem. So
Yeah. So I think we actually got through all 10.
yeah. So there's a lot to house hunting, and we're here. I'm here to help you get that home. So we're gonna definitely start off with number one, which is let's call the house money mama.
Right
Um,
here. Got that
right,
money for you, honey.
right. If you're interested in getting pre-approved, this is Lisa's number. You could give her a call. Mention Water Cooler Wednesday. Let her know you listen to us all the time. We love to hear from our followers.
Yeah, we really do. And actually, through the end of April, we are paying for your appraisals. I have a lender that's doing that right now. Up to $600 will reimburse you for your appraisal on the CD. So,
All right. All right.
booyah!
All right. And if you have any questions, even if you're not buying in Illinois, I can still help you get a house in whatever state that you are shopping in. So
Mhm.
EXP is a global company. So I have members all around the globe that can help you. So if you want to go to Texas, give me a call. If you want to go to Florida, give me a call. If you But if you're shopping in Illinois, you can definitely work with me to get a
Direct.
house. And
Yes.
maybe soon in Indiana. Coming soon.
Yes.
So,
All right. I've been waiting to hear that.
yeah,
Good.
it's coming. If they just approve our documents that I send, they said 6 to 8 weeks. So,
Okay.
all right.
All
So,
right. Good deal. That's
all
good.
right.
Good news. Glad to hear
Follow
that.
us on Facebook at Water Cooler Wednesday. We are so glad that you are here with us uh, each week, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.